including a doctorate of theology and master of divinity. As a pastor, he integrates faith and spirituality into his coaching. Media business syndicated. Take your life back today. Show, podcast, and YouTube channel where he offers daily inspiration. He has also been featured in magazines and on television. Presidential Volunteer Service Award. In 2020, he was a recipient of the Presidential Volunteer Service Award, presented by Donald J. Trump. The turning point. Failed attempts at sobriety. Friedrichs had tried to stop drinking many times before, often due to the consequences of his actions. He told himself he could still drink, but would be more careful, an idea he now recognizes as part of his denial. After his epiphany, he briefly attended Alcoholics Anonymous. However, he felt the format where people mainly talked about their day was not enough to support heavy drinkers and was not an effective rehab for him. The decision to surrender, facing the very real possibility of death and losing his family, Friedrichs made a choice to fully surrender to God. He realized there was no longer a contest between his drinking and his faith. Life in recovery, daily commitment. Recovery for Friedrichs is an ongoing commitment. He finds that being a life coach, pastor, and motivation speaker keeps him accountable by having others rely on him for guidance. Embracing a new purpose since 2013, Friedrichs has dedicated his life to helping others overcome addiction. He became an ordained minister and has authored multiple books, sharing his story to give others hope. His recovery is anchored in his faith. He believes that surrendering to God is the key to managing life and addiction, and has enabled his personal transformation. Elaborate on the epiphany Ralf Friedrichs experienced in the doghouse. After years of escalating alcoholism, Ralf Friedrichs experienced his defining moment in June 2013. His wife, having reached a breaking point, locked him out of their house after a drinking binge, forcing him to take refuge in the doghouse. What he describes as an epiphany from God during this humbling experience was the catalyst for his ultimate surrender and recovery. After downing 10 vodka shots in a single sitting, Friedrichs was refused entry into his home by his wife. For a day and a half, he was forced to stay in the doghouse, a place of shame that mirrored the state of his life. Divine intervention. While in the doghouse, Friedrichs felt a profound spiritual experience, an overwhelming realization that he was about to lose everything, including his life, if he did not change. For the first time, he felt he had to fully surrender to a higher power rather than just try to moderate his drinking. Surveillance forced him to a turning point. He chose to surrender to God and commit to sobriety rather than continue a cycle of self-destruction and attempts to manage his consumption. After years of escalating alcoholism, Ralf Friedrichs experienced his defining moment in June 2013. His wife, having reached her breaking point, locked him out of their house after a drinking binge, forcing him to take refuge in the doghouse. What he describes as an epiphany from God during this humbling experience was the catalyst for his ultimate surrender and recovery. The event and its impact, divine intervention. While in the doghouse, Friedrichs felt a profound spirit experience, an overwhelming realization that he was about to lose everything, including his life, if he did not change. For the first time, he felt he had to fully surrender to a higher power rather than just try to moderate his drinking. The choice to surrender forced him to a turning point. He chose to surrender to God and commit to sobriety rather than continue his cycle of self-destruction and attempts to manage his consumption. Friedrichs attributes this moment directly to God, seeing it as the spiritual intervention that finally broke his cycle of denial. For years he had been trying to control his drinking, but in the doghouse he realized he needed to surrender. Humiliation and humility. The act of being locked out of his own home and relegated to the doghouse was a profound humiliation that stripped